everyone to our September luncheon. Obviously, we're here giving the basics. This is a really awesome organization, and Teresa Hamilton and Mayor Albee are going to tell you more about that later. We also have Debbie Ferguson with Kansas Gas. Kansas Gas is our sponsor today, so she's going to say a few words in a few minutes. I'm Melissa Clark. I think most of you know that. I missed last month's meeting. I'm sorry. I was sick, and the doctor said I had to stay home because it would be nice for all of you not to be around me. So I missed that with Senator Moran, and we did select a winner for the festival poster. I know you all voted on that, and that is on our website, I think, or it will be. And then we'll also be handing out those commemorative posters at this year's festival. So speaking of this year's festival, if I get a little sidetracked, it's because we're under like 3 weeks from now planning and getting this ready. So it's crunch time for the festival. The Fairfax Festival is October 3rd, in case you haven't heard. It's 3:30 to 8:30. It's at Cobb Point Park. It's a beautiful park in the Fairfax district, believe it or not. It's the southeast tip. It's where the Missouri and Kansas River meet. Lewis and Clark stopped there on their expedition. I guess they did some trials and all kinds of stuff. But anyways, I got the history. It's there. It's really neat. We extended the hours so people can be there when it gets dark and downtown Kansas City lights up, because it's just a beautiful view that you don't really experience anywhere else in the city. And then we'll have the Zeros. They're an 80s cover band. They'll be playing. We've got beer and wine gardens. We have different food vendors. EJ's Urban Eatery, who's doing the food today, will be one of the food vendors there. Lawn game tournament, super competitive. You don't have to be good to play, but you probably won't make it to the championship round. But it's really, really fun, and we usually get like 60 or 70 people to enter. You form teams of 2. You represent your company. There's 4 different lawn games. It's on the website. The official rules are on the website for the ones that get really serious. We already have all that in place. And then you work your way up, and then there's through a bracket, and then there's a championship playoff, and whoever wins gets to have the beautiful trophy, traveling trophy with their name put on it, and put it in their business and brag about it for a year. And so far the winners it's been going back and forth between Centos and Central Solutions, right? This is the 5th year, and it's been between those 2 companies. Ergon Armor almost took it last year. There's some other, I can't remember who, but there's like serious competition. It's really fun. So we should be able to have, we're going to have boat rides on the river. The river's come down enough, unless it rises for some reason. Steve with the Drainage District said it should probably be okay. What else do we have? The Lewis and Clark reenactors. We have the B25 group there with some Rosie riveters that are in their 90s. Anyways, my thinking, Paul, I got it covered. Anyways, it's going to be a really good time. These are the posters. If you don't have them for your business, please, they're sitting here, and we'll set them out by the front door. Take some back and hang them up for your employees to see. Tickets are $5. And we're going to cap the sale of the tickets at $750. And we already have over 500 sold. So, and they're selling now online. So make sure you get your tickets bought, because we won't sell any at the door, and we're going to stop selling tickets on September 30th. So we can tell our vendors how many to plan for. Let's see. Another thing is, we cannot do this without, number one, our sponsors who are awesome. We have 60 or over 60 sponsors, and they're all listed on the website, and they'll be on banners and all that are paying for this festival, or paying a big portion of it. And then we also have our volunteers. And I'm going to send around, this is a volunteer sheet. We cannot do it. It takes a village to do this. The first section is if you can help with setup. Setup is in the morning. We start some of us start at 8, but like the volunteer group, we'd have you show up at 9 o'clock at the park. You help put up the canopy tents, the tables, the chairs, all that. It takes a lot of work, but it's really easy when we have a handful of volunteers. If you have a pickup truck, I have there for you to mark that because we will load all of the stuff out of my warehouse onto pickups, take it over, drop it off. And then also there's a section here for if you want to volunteer during the event. You can say you want to volunteer the whole time or you can take a shift. And then don't forget the back. Because this year, since we're going late, we're going to pay security to stay there overnight and leave all the stuff sitting there because everyone's tired by 8:30 and no one wants to like clean up in the dark. So we're going to clean up the next morning from like 9 to noon. So if you have a pickup again, just putting all the tents and all that and sending it back to my warehouse. So I'm going to start passing this around with Gray. So please consider helping.
We always have a lot of fun, even though it's work. It's a little bit of a party attitude, so come have fun with us.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Good job. It is a lot of fun. We get pizza. We get pizza for everyone. We may or may not tap into the beer and wine to make sure it tastes okay. Yes.
I was just going to say with the volunteers, if there's someone's volunteering, you still have to buy a ticket. Is that right?
What?
To the festival, if someone's volunteering, you still have to buy a ticket.
Oh, yeah. No, if you volunteer, we'll comp your $5 ticket.
Well, yeah, no. Yeah.
No, we will.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, no. If you volunteer, I forget about all that, trying to keep all that straight. But yeah, we'll definitely comp your ticket because we'll get more than $5 out of it.
Right. Sure. Yeah.
So, and then also the rain date, in case we have to use a rain date, which hopefully we won't, but we did one year. We'll send out notice, but you can check the website. Will be the following Thursday, the 10th. So that's it on the festival. Today you're going to hear from Teresa Hamilton, who's the president of Giving the Basics. And yes, Bob Hamilton Plumbing is her husband. So now you're all going to be singing that song. But we're going to do a drive with Giving the Basics for the Fairfax group. So she's going to talk about that. So just so you know, we're going to have a drive going on. It's going to be, they have it super organized and easy for businesses to participate in this drive. So that's going to be going on the next month. And then we also have Fairfax Day at the Races, October 20th. Kansas Speedway has put together a package for FIA members. And you can look at our website, it's on there, and the package, and you click on it, and it takes you and tells you the deals and all that stuff. So Kansas Speedway is a member and a sponsor, and they're a sponsor at the festival, and they'll be selling tickets there too, so support that. November, we have Esther George, president of the Federal Reserve Bank, will be our speaker, and I'm sure she can tell us all about the interest rates. And that's going to be at General Motors. In December, we have a holiday happy hour, and you'll get 2 free drinks and then free food, and it's going to be at Argosy Casino. In January, that's December. In January, we're going to have a speaker, I just forgot her name, North Kansas City Hospital. It's on the science of happiness. So after you get through the holidays and you set your New Year's goals, and you can focus on happiness. So we got a lot going on. I'm gonna, I'm gonna go have you guys go around and introduce yourselves. Just say your name, the name of your company, if you've participated in either a volunteer team building that Giving the Basics has, or a donation deal for their company, or if you're on the FIA board or the festival committee. And Phil, you get to go first.
Phil McElhenney, First National Bank of Omaha.
Richard Shelby, Marquand Electric, proud to be on the board.
Howard Shealy, Marquand Electric.
Hi everyone, John Salazar, Wynot Economic Development Council.
I forgot to mention we also have 2 commissioners here. Here's one, Commissioner Bynum.
Commissioner Melissa Bynum, Unified Government.
And then Candace Martin with the Hinton in the Suites in the Plaza.
Paul Nyberg, Central Solutions Board Member and on the Festival Committee.
Butch Keyser, Central Solutions, and a follower of Giving the Basics.
He's also been a winner of the lawn game tournament twice.
Ross Smith, architect.
Make sure you put that on there. Hey guys, I'm Brendan Butler with Octitech. He's also with Octitech, and today's his first time at this event.
Ah, great.
Carson Andrioli, Mutual of Omaha Bank, member here at FIA.
Thank you.
Ainley Ballinger, Mutual of Omaha Bank member.
Chris Scheckinger, CBiz, just joined. This is my first meeting.
All right. And he says he has volunteers for the festival.
All right.
Lisa Tice, my first time I'm with CBiz Payroll and Resources.
Dan Reardon Senior, Reardon Pallet Company, and I'm on the Fairfax board as well.
Mike Kane.
Jason Kane, Reardon Pallet. Dan Reardon Jr., Reardon Pallet.
Rick Sweeney, Wells Fargo Bank, and I'm a guest.
Thank you.
Tommy Phelps, XPO Logistics.
Go ahead, Tom.
Tom Allen, Giving the Basics.
Hello, Kate Kershaw, and I'm with the Kansas Chamber. Susanna Segrist with IHD Solutions on the Fairfax Committee.
David Allen, Mayor of Unified Government.
Beth Landers, Enterprise Bank and Trust.
Hi, I'm Dave Stein. We used to be Mamtech. We are now Kansas Manufacturing Solutions, and we're members of FIA, and I'm looking forward to volunteering and all set up for testing.
Great, thanks.
Good afternoon, Cynthia Smith with Universal Construction.
Zach Smith, Universal Construction.
Hi, Darren Morris, at School of Mitchell, help people lower their trash costs. My first time in college.
I'm Robert Motley. I work for Foley Rental. We're the cat dealer.
Tara Laws with Waterlingo.
Patty Science with Waterlingo.
Joe Porter with ExxonMobil.
Valerie Bowman, State Tax Business Advisors.
Marshall Dominguez, Kansas City, Kansas Community College.
Jake Brandon with House of Motors and Insurance. Volunteer.
Oh, thank you.
Grant Average, Kansas Speedway.
Mike Martin, Capital Electric, also president of FIA board.
Lori Brunner with Liver Mechanical, and I'm also on the festival committee.
Simon Juan Plasigovian with Automotive Tier 1 Suppliers. First event. We have worked with Given the Basic. We continue to drive our own secret.
John Sharkey, Classic County.
Dana Jensen, Farmington.
Very new. Joe, want to go?
Joe Bott, commercial real estate broker, hired.
Sort of.
I'm on the festival committee, board of directors, and something else.
Former commissioner as well.
Excellent.
Former commissioner.
Kim Singleton for State Bank and Trust. Debbie Ferguson, Kansas Gas Service.
Susan Marks, Kansas Gas Service. There will be a volunteer.
Yes, thank you.
JP Latenzer, Net Packaging Systems. Giles Latenzer, also Net Packaging Systems, and board member.
Marty Quinn, industrial lumber and board member.
Teresa, that's everyone over here, right? Okay. Do you want to introduce yourself? Teresa Hamilton.
I am the executive director here at Giving the Basics.
Joni Shoeless with Giving the Basics. Kathy Wilson with also Giving the Basics.
And I'm going to introduce Rachel Chambers, who's also on the board, our treasurer, runs all the RSVPs for the luncheons and all that. She does an awesome job and makes my life way, way better. And Lavella does, she's doing the video and she does all of our photography. So if you ever need someone for that, she does an awesome job. You can check all of her photos out on our website. Speaking of, I think we need a video sponsor for this luncheon. So it's $150. It goes out on the website. It stays on the website. It goes out to social media. It gives a lot of marketing for your business for $150. So if you want to sponsor this luncheon's video, just let me know. Okay, I think I have covered everything. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have Debbie Ferguson come up with Kansas Gas. They're our sponsor today. And then after Debbie, we will turn it over to giving the basics.
Good afternoon, everybody. When my boss told me we should be a sponsor for or a host for today's lunch, I did not know there was speaking involved. So.
That was on purpose.
We brought a few items for you to take with you today. Our meter man is our mascot for Kansas Gas Service. The other item that you have, I don't know if you've opened them up, they're tape measures, so that's what those other things are. Our meter man kind of reminds me of the claymation raisins back in the 80s. Yeah. So, anyway, we are a natural gas distribution company. We're part of a larger company, One Gas. We have gas properties in Oklahoma, Texas, and Kansas. We have about over 2 million customers amongst those 3 states. We have about 1,000 employees. We have about 36,000 miles of pipe in the state of Kansas. We are a publicly traded company on the New York Stock Exchange under OGS, and that's basically it. So anyway, I did want to mention that I attended a KCK chamber luncheon earlier in the year, and I had the absolute pleasure to have a table mate with Teresa. So I really enjoyed that experience. So phenomenal woman and phenomenal organization. So.
And they're our gas supplier for families.
Yes. I'm a key account rep, actually, is my position. So a lot of the large volume customers in this community are my accounts. So you might be hearing more from me. So.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so we're going to have Mayor Alvey come up. He is a guest speaker today. He's a big supporter of Giving the Basics. And everyone loves to hear from Mayor Alvey, so we're like, you have to come.
Well, not everyone.
Most everyone. That's right.
Thank you. So this is great. Thank you all for coming. I see a lot of people, new people that I have not seen before at the FIA, so that's awesome. You know, when I kind of have a longer background with Teresa Hamilton, that her boys went to Rockhurst High School, so I got to know them. I think so to understand Teresa, you have to understand, how many kids do you have?
I have 12.
12.
6 boys and 6 girls.
And so not only did she have to find a way to teach those boys and those daughters to behave, she also had to keep Bob in line, which might be the bigger job, but I always want to say, you know, when God said, go forth and multiply, fill the earth, that wasn't all on you. All of us could do our own little bit. But great kids, great family. Tell Bob, however, that I have a new neighbor who moved in across the street, and he have a Bob Hamilton panel truck parked over there. I don't want to wake up and see Bob every morning. That's on you. Yeah. So if there ends up being a Bob Hamilton truck with a mustache on it, that might be me. But you know, I used to be able to go down when Giving the Basics was actually located at the underground over where Dean Machinery was, right? And we'd take Rockhurst kids down there, and they would volunteer to put together the packages. And it was just amazing that when you do something fundamentally good for people, how it draws people in. People are looking for an opportunity to make a difference in the lives of others, even if they can only give a few hours once in a long while. They still need that opportunity, and Giving the Basics does that. Because the message is simple. You know, when you have, for instance, you know, Teresa will explain more what Giving the Basics, how it operates, but if you're one of our police officers, for instance, and you come to a home on any kind of report and you find that it's a dysfunctional home, right? If the police are being called to the home, more than likely there's some level of dysfunction there. Whether the mother, the father, boyfriend, whoever is at fault, the ones who suffer are the children. And so what Giving the Basics does is they'll come into homes and they'll find kids who simply, they don't have the simple things they need. They don't have, for instance, toothpaste. They don't have a toothbrush. They might not even have soap. They may not be able to get toilet paper. This is the real lived experience of some folks. And some of these folks will be discovered by our police, but what Giving the Basics does is they will provide our police officers with the opportunity to take this and provide this to the family in need. If you're a student in a school and you just don't seem to be tracking well and you end up in the counselor's office and they dig down with that student, they'll find that there's really not much at home for them. Giving the Basics is able to give them a package that respects their dignity. Kids, you know, are so easily embarrassed. They don't like to stand out, especially when they get to high school. They don't like to stand out for any reason, really, until they really want to stand out, and that's another issue. But for some of these kids, they're withdrawn. They can't engage. You know, if a kid grows up and they don't have access to soap or to shampoo, for whatever reason, Giving the Basics is there, understands it's a fundamental need for human dignity to be able to come to school clean, refreshed, and that's what Giving the Basics does. So in any way you can get involved. If you are, for instance, the head of a Boy Scouts troop or a Girl Scouts troop, if you are work with, you know, in your church, you work with a youth group, or you work with the elderly, people who are looking for good opportunities to do things, get in touch with Teresa. They'll come on down, they'll put you to work. Trust me, they will put you to work. And there's always so much. But what is so important, I think, about Giving the Basics is it gives each one of us an opportunity to be generous in just really small ways. Because we can't give our all day, every day, but we can give a little bit here and there, and that's what Giving the Basics really allows us to do. But most importantly, it respects and recognizes the need for dignity for some of those who are most vulnerable. And if we can't do that, we really need to reflect upon that. So, having said all that, I'm going to have Teresa come on up. Trust me, she's a force to be reckoned with.
It makes me sound kind of crazy and mean. So I'm really not. No, I really appreciate everything that you said. Giving the Basics, I want to thank our staff, all of our board of directors, our donors, volunteers. We are a hygiene hub. The video is going to tell you so much about what we do, but what I want you to kind of know are some of the numbers that are not on there because they change all the time. We're helping 250,000 people a month in Kansas City and the KC Metro have access to the Basics. That would fill Chief Stadium 3 times. So it's amazing that people go without, and it's really personal. If you think about how you'd feel, every one of us use these items today to get ready, and you're going to remember us when you brush your teeth and take a shower, because by the time you leave here today, it's going to be very personal for you. And you'll think of ways to help us. If you have an event and you want us to benefit from that, that's great. If you have a grant program and you want to help us with that, please step out, and this is who you contact. If you want to volunteer, your people will have so much fun. They can help load out all the pantries. They can come down and sort and package. There's so many opportunities here for all of you in different ways and in small ways. The sessions are an hour and a half. You plug in and you can choose what you want to do. If you want to package or if you want to go ahead and load out how about the school districts? We have 3 pickups a day. We started with 6 pantries. And then we've grown to the place where we have now gone to the schools, the school districts. We started with 2 of those. We added them on. Everybody does the same thing. They order what they need every month online. We fulfill those orders and we give the product for free. Because if people can't buy these things and they can't get them, when they go into a grocery store, why would we charge them or the organizations for that? So we give them to them for free so that people can have dignity. A child in any school in this metro area can now walk in and say, can I get a deodorant? Can I please get some shampoo, lotion, whatever it is that we're providing for those schools, they can get it immediately because it's not at home. So it's a huge impact. And if you think about our growth now, we have 511 distribution sites in the Kansas City metro area. So we've grown a lot since 2011 is when we launched. We also expanded. We have a warehouse in Wichita, and I am going to do a little shout out to Mr. Keyser here. His daughter Erin actually runs our Wichita warehouse. It's much like this. It's a little bit smaller, but they're doing the same thing. They're having drives in the community. They are bringing it into that hub there. It's a pilot program that we're running, and they're killing it. They're doing a great job. They're helping so many thousands of people in Wichita, and I could not have a better leader in that organization. Megan Keiss, her husband owns Keiss Industries. She is also on staff there in Wichita, so we've got great support in Wichita, companies that are getting involved. What I love is that people are embracing this. Kansas City made this Kansas City's charity. It's a grassroots effort. It started in my garage. It is now by the grace of Peter and Veronica Maluk. They donated from Creative Planning. They donated this building that we are in. We were worried about utilities because we didn't have utilities in the caves. When you were talking about the caves, it was easy. We had lights, we had perfect temperature, and then we came in here, but we had to come here because we needed to say yes to more product. We needed to be able to say, yes, we can take a truckload of product in. Before we'd have to say, oh my gosh, we don't have anywhere to put it, what are we gonna do? So this gave us more capacity. Our number one need that we have, we can triple the dollar. So if you donate financially, we will triple that dollar. So if you gave one, we turn it into three. We have great buying power. So that's number one. But our need is for manufacturers and distributors that carry our core products. We need them to know about us and to push their product to us, specifically hygiene. Anything that's related to cleaning the body or the clothes, that's what we need. So if you ever have anyone who says, you can ask them if you know a manufacturer, hey, how about you go and visit Giving the Basics? We need to be able to get what we need. Sometimes we get way too much of one product and not enough of another. So help us get with that if you can, if you know anyone, to make that connection. That's something that we don't talk a lot about. Now I'm gonna let the video speak for what we do. I have one big shout out, that is to Tom Allen. Tom, want to stand up real quick, please? Okay, Tom is the one who coordinated this luncheon with Melissa Clark. I want to thank her for everything that she's done, everything that she does. I visited her the other day and I thought, oh my gosh, I feel like we could truly be kindred spirits because she just speaks that same language of her heart is big, but also she has the ability to keep something. And she understands that we're doing a nonprofit with a for-profit background. When Bob and I started, Bob Hamilton, when we were 22 years old, we had no idea what we were doing, but we weren't afraid. We thought, you know what, we'll figure it out as we go, and we'll learn, and if we fall, we'll learn some more. And so we always say you get to instead of you have to, and that is our big motto. And so thank you very much for giving us this opportunity, and for all of you coming down. I hope you'll come. We'll get back on your schedule. Hopefully everybody will say, yeah, that's okay, we'll do that. When you're here, please tour. In here is our volunteer room. This is the presentation room. We show the video in here whenever companies come in, just so you know how it rolls. You'll see a couple of cameras on the televisions. It'll show you what it looks like when there's an actual packing event back here. That's the volunteer room right here. Then I want you to go through the warehouse, and I want you to go and see on the carts that are right by all these garage doors, that is what your company employees would be loading. They would be rolling those carts out and loading the pantries. So if you can imagine 76 pantries being loaded a month, and all the school districts, and all the police departments, and so we have Kansas City, Kansas, Kansas City, Missouri, we've got Johnson County Sheriffs, and we've got Shawnee. All those police departments are taking care of our product. So that's another big, they pick up all the product and they get it in the hands of the people. So definitely look, watch the videos on the two televisions, and enjoy yourself and have fun and let it all soak in. And then when you go home and you're showering, let those ideas brew of what you can do to help make this part of what you do in the community. When you're walking through, I want you to take very good notice of, there's a wrapping machine back here, a pallet wrapping machine. And we can thank, if you would stand up please, Mr. John Latenzer and JP. They knew we needed to do something different, and they provided.
He said it best when he said, if you're around this stuff, you look for ways to be engaged and help. We just happen to do packaging.
Well, they don't just do anything, just so you know. It has been a huge improvement for us to be able to get the boxes onto the pallet, get it wrapped, because those little flappy things that you see when you walk through, they kept knocking all of our boxes over. And so we are now able to wrap and get stuff where it needs to go. So, okay, with that, Kathy, you want to start that video?
Did you mention the drive? You talked about the drive.
Well,
For
we are
Fairfax.
gonna have it, if you guys want to do a drive, Joni has put, Joni, you want to stand up? Kathy's
I
gonna
know
do
what
the
it is,
video.
but I want to make sure you understand
No, that's good.
the drive.
Well, hold on a second, we're gonna, there's a sheet on here for you to sign up if you want to have a drive. And if you want to take this back to the person in your company that would be in charge of getting that engaged, that would be a really good thing to do. We drop off the barrels, you fill out this little form on this link, and you're going to mention Fairfax District on here when you fill out the form. But it says, when do you want your barrels? When do you want them picked up? What do you want to drive for? Do you want a speaker at a lunch and learn? It's a very comprehensive form. Joni's in charge of all of that information that goes in, and then she'll help make sure David, who's not here, he's always missing during stuff like this. He's our warehouse manager. He will make sure that your barrels get where they need to go, and if you want to decide, you know, we really have we just want to do toilet paper, or we want to do all products. So you get to choose what you want to do, because we want to help you make the impact you want to make. We don't want to say, gosh, we want you to, Giving Basics needs you to do this, this, or this. What do you want to do? That's what we want to help you do. So, okay, Tom, did you have something?
The only thing I was going to say is if we have a list of everybody's organizations and email addresses, we could send an email.
Well, we will do a
with
push.
link.
We'll push.
The link to register for a drive.
Online.
Well, if you're already linked to FIA, I assume, because you all RSVP, right? You receive our emails for Fairfax. So I think we have the email set up tomorrow. That's going to go out for you to sign up to do the drive, or you can do a team building volunteer thing, and all that will be on there.
That's perfect. So you can take this if you want to and have it, and when you get sick of seeing it on the floor of your car, then you can actually hand it to the person at your office. But you'll get an e-link, so you got both. Okay. All right, Kathy, you want to start the video? Thanks.
My friend said, you know what, I am on government assistance, I've been through a divorce, I'm getting no child support, I have 6 kids to raise, and I need toilet paper. And so my immediate response is, well, then go buy toilet paper with that card that you get. And then she told me it's not covered. It was really embarrassing. I was standing in the grocery store line, and everybody was standing behind me, and my kids were there, and they started taking everything out of my car that my kids and I needed to get clean. She said she was absolutely terrified because she had nowhere else to turn. She was embarrassed. She was ashamed. And I thought, wow, I've never been in that position in my life.
I remember trying to get toilet paper, and we had times where we had to use clothes that were dirty. That makes you feel so low, you know, when you can't even wipe and be clean. You know, having to wet clothes, dirty clothes, and wipe my kids off. That made me feel like a crappy person, like a crappy mom. And my kids, I felt like they weren't clean, and it wasn't fair to them. Like it hits you on so many different levels, you know, and it seems like something that's so simple and you can't do it. You know, that just, it takes so much out of you, and the stress itself makes you not be able to be the parent that you want to be because you feel like you're unworthy. You know, I can't teach my kids how to go through life with their head up high and my head's down low. So it really goes deeper than just taking care of the needs.
I had a kid that was on the football team, and because he was so good athletically, well, a lot of the other stuff was being missed until we started talking, and I found out that he was basically homeless.
A lot of veterans have had bad experiences with organizations, with the VA, being able to say that, hey, somebody's doing something for me. They're starting experiencing some things that they've never seen before.
The majority of our time we're going to people's houses because they're having an issue But in the course of that time that you're at their house, if you can just look around and assess and see what's going on, you're like, I've broken up so many fights in homes by walking out to my car, telling my partner, I'll be right back. And say, hey, bringing in some basics. For the police department, we needed this.
We started giving the basics specifically to get hygiene products in the hands of people in a trackable way. So we can consistently provide the basics to people, things that are not covered, things that they cannot buy, they cannot get unless they're easily and readily accessible to them. We're Kansas City's hygiene hub. The goal is to help people get clean so they can get a job and then buy their own hygiene products to break this cycle. It may take a month or two. We know that for people to feel better about themselves so that they can then want to go out and get a job, and that's okay. It takes a while. Once they do, and they're free from that, I don't think that they're going to want to go back into a place where they weren't able to feel good about themselves. So we started with a pantry program so that we fulfill for the local pantries, food shelters, churches, other community centers that need the basics. We have another program, and that is the school program. So we are in all the school nurses' offices in the KC metro area.
Fourth grader this year came to me, and she had tears in her eyes. She said, thank you so much for the stuff that you put in my bag. It means so much. And it was some shampoo and some toothbrushes. But it means something to these kids, that they don't look different, they don't smell different.
Students that don't know about giving the basics find out through other students, and they find a peer that's having a problem and they immediately tell them, hey, I know how we can solve that.
Some kids, they walk up in our school and they feel less than. I don't want them to feel ashamed or want them to get talked about, so I just tell them to come down here, and get themselves right. I can come down here and get myself ready to, go back to class and be confident in myself and get my work done and not be worried about what everybody else is telling me.
This program actually is able to help me provide my children a clean way of life. They don't get made fun of at school for being smelly because mom can't buy them body wash or deodorant or laundry soap just because my paycheck runs out. It means a lot for my children to be able to go to school and just focus on school-related issues instead of having to be bullied because of what mom can't provide for them.
And the senior program has two facets to it. The first part of the senior program is we're providing incontinence products to the homebound seniors.
If they didn't have the incontinence supplies prior to this program, or they weren't receiving them from us, sometimes they would be buying them, but maybe not as many as they need, or sacrificing other things like food, transportation to doctor's appointments, their medicine, not filling their prescriptions. So they kind of had to weigh those things. But also some people were just going without them. And so they'd, be changing their clothes multiple times a day, and it'd just be a lot of work. Or, in really sad cases, they would just sit there and be unclean, and it would be really tough for them, maybe to even take a bath or a shower. So by providing just this one thing, that opens up a whole new, level of life to them, I guess.
It means a lot because it helps to keep my body clean. It lets me know that people care. And I thank God for all what He has blessed me with. I appreciate it, and I give all my thanks to you all, and I give all my thanks to the Lord.
The other part of the senior program is really exciting. We started a program in the senior centers where the seniors can help package, and they are so proud that they're helping the community because they're not done. They're just not mobile. A lot of people have an opinion about adults that have a need. They do find out quickly, but they didn't realize originally that an adult that doesn't have access to hygiene products isn't going to succeed. If we continue to do nothing, how will that help them change?
Okay, so that's our program. We hope you fall in love with it, of course. We hope that you'll get involved. But more than anything, we hope that your heart now has more of an awareness for the fact that people are going without the things that will really help them have dignity. So help us bring dignity to people and enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Thanks.
So this is where we're gonna do the tour portion, right? Are you gonna have people leading them?
Well, if you guys want to come on a tour, if everyone wants to kind of come over by this door, we're going to go around and through. So, and then feel free to, mingle and all that afterwards too. But we'll kind of walk you through the warehouse real quick, and I'll talk really loud because I am really. It was fun. So this is the room that you're in right now is our volunteer room. I'll bring your attention to the camera or the television right behind our friend over here. Up here, this is what it looks like when companies come in to package and sort. This room is usually very busy. We blocked off all volunteers from today. We usually have, this year we will have over 7,000 volunteers in this, going through Giving the Basics. They come in groups of 8 and more. Sometimes we host up to just over 100 people when they want to bring everybody at one time. It's an hour-and-a-half shift. They get really, really busy. Sometimes they're counting drives and sorting and recording, and sometimes they're packaging. So that's what goes on in this room. There are usually 4 big stations set up with tables. So if you can imagine kind of a great big